A passenger plane representing the HK Express is about to take off from the Fukuoka airport en route to Hong Kong. The plane, carrying 80 passengers, enters the runway, preparing to take off. Tower, this is Captain Sama, requesting permission to take off, over. Negative 76, you do not have clearance. Please stand by. Sama looks at his co-pilot. What do you think that's about? Beats me. A pair of monstrous feet touches down next to the aircraft. The earth underneath the plane rocks back and forth. The passengers inside are launched from their seats onto the floor or onto each other. Within the terminals of the airport, civilians look to the large windows to see what is going on. In their sights is a huge cloud of dust. The cloud disappears, but it is blown away. Inside of the plane, the people gets to their feet and looks out the windows. Immediately, they all scream at the top of their lungs. The pilot looks back, then looks out to the right side. They become terrified. From the watchtower, the operators can see what just landed near the plane. So too does the civilians in the airport itself. The three-headed kaiju Ghidorah folds its wings and touches its arms onto the runway. The heads looks around. They can see the beauty in Fukuoka lit up in the night. The middle head scoffs at this beauty. The right head looks down and spots the passenger plane underneath. It lowers to get a better view of the inside. The pilots clenches in their seats. The passengers scurries to one side in a panic. The left lowers down. It sniffs, then nudges the plane with its nose. More panic sets in. The right argues with the left that the aircraft belongs to it, but the left responds in anger. Both heads get into an argument, unknowingly aggravating the middle head immensely. It lowers down and snarls at both of the heads. The right and left stops and looks away. The middle head bites on the front end of the plane. Its teeth sinks in. The pilots gets up from their seats and runs away from the cockpit. The passengers runs to the emergency exit. Suddenly, the plane lifts up into the air. Ghidorah lifts his heads up and the middle head throws the passenger plane back down. The aircraft, upon smacking into the ground, explodes. It terrifies the people in the watchtower and in the airport itself. Ghidorah steps through the burning smoke as it shows that the other side of the necks are glowing yellow. It roars and fires a single volley of gravity beams. The golden bolt smashes into the terminals, then spreads throughout the Fukuoka airport. Traveling at great speeds, they destroy anything that it touches. The humans that were trying to run are vaporized instantly, leaving nothing behind but blood and parts of their bodies scattered. The three heads moves and destroys the rest of the airport, killing the rest of the humans inside of it. 12 seconds later, they stop firing, then resumes, attacking the planes, vehicles, and the watchtower in the distance. The kaiju finally stops. The three heads looks around as the beast gets closer. The Fukuoka airport is no more. In its place are rubble, loose bones, and corpses of humans lying dead underneath, with their blood pouring out from the cracks. The middle head huffs and puffs. The right snickers, and the left licks some of the bones and blood from the ground, though the middle tells it to stop. The three looks past the smoke and flames back at the city of Fukuoka. It spreads its wings and takes flight once more. The people in Fukuoka stops what they are doing when they hear the sound of Ghidorah's roar. Police officers with megaphones in hand tells the people to head for the kaiju shelters immediately. The city has not installed the kaiju sirens yet. As a result, there is even more confusion than ever. Up above, Ghidorah looks down at the confused humans on the streets. The silhouette of the kaiju against the moon's light looms down below, getting the attention of the humans, who screams the moment they spot it. The beast stops in mid-flight and then drops like a rock. It crashes into a building in the center of Hirau from top to bottom. An earthquake rocks the surrounding area of Ghidorah's landing. Many buildings' windows crashes and many car alarms goes off. The humans on the streets picks themselves up, only to see the kaiju towering over everything. It looks down at the fleeing humans. The middle head looks at the left and right and nods. The undersides of their necks glows, their mouths open, and another volley of gravity beams is fired. The strings of bolts stretches up to 6 miles. Buildings crumbles, vehicles explodes, humans are getting killed in the blink of an eye. Still firing, Ghidorah turns its body, guiding the continuous gravity beams along with it. As the kaiju turns a full 360 degrees, more and more buildings gets destroyed, and more fleeing humans gets caught and killed instantly. Then, it stops firing. The gravity beams have created a full circle of destruction, leaving nothing behind but flames in the places of buildings and towers. Ghidorah takes flight once more. It fires another wave of bolts from its mouths, killing more and destroying more that are still standing. At certain points, the gravity beams curves before touching the ground entirely and hit specific targets. The middle head spots the damaged Fukuoka tower. It roars at the left and right, telling them to focus on the tower. It lowers its altitude and gains much more speed. Closer and closer it gets to it, the beast lowers its lower body and spreads its feet like a hawk. The three-headed dragon crashes onto the side of the tower and grabs onto it with its sharp talons. Its tail wraps around it. The people inside of the tower screams at the top of their lungs and tries to escape. As the tower tilts to the side, the window shatters, sending sliding humans out to their deaths. And then, the Fukuoka tower itself finally breaks from its foundation and lifted up into the air by Ghidorah. The three heads spots the Momochi Sea Park. With no hesitation or remorse, it flies towards it. As the kaiju approaches over the sea park, it unwraps its tails and removes its talons, releasing the Fukuoka tower. It crashes onto the park, dragging the trapped humans along with it. Hovering above, Ghidorah looks on with sheer delight. The three heads turns their attention to the rest of Fukuoka. For those who are still alive, trying to find a shelter to hide in, Ghidorah's persecution has only begun.